Hello there, welcome back to my boat shed. My name is Panu and I am building this boat you can see behind me there. It's a 15-meter liveaboard cruising sailboat that I've been building from scratch for 2.5 years now, approximately. And this video started by doing some glorious sanding. Now the pile of oak has been sanded smooth and it looks great. Next we're gonna put it on there, kind of making the final dry fit. Then I need to prepare the surface, I need to protect it from the epoxy. Then we can start gluing it. It's not gonna happen today, it's now... Actually today I released the previous video. I made it this morning and then I came here later afternoon to do the rest of the sanding. And now it's done. It was quite a big job. It took at least a couple of hours, more, 3 hours maybe, to do the rest. Yeah, a lot of pieces, but now they are done and they look good. So in this video we're gonna glue that there, machine it, and I hope that we can get finished pieces out from the CNC. Which brings us to the small sponsored part of this video. This videos and this project is sponsored by Green Turtle Epoxy and their distributor in Finland, Materialshop.fi. There's some information in here about the company. So if you are doing anything regarding of epoxies, silicone mold things, anything fiberglass or stuff like that, small scale or big scale, I probably can assure you that they have the materials you need. And they are working in Finland, but I think if you want to ask them something specific, they can help you with that as well. But yeah, thank you so much for sponsoring my project. There is a next batch of Green Turtle coming in the next month or so, and fiberglass and all other kinds of materials soon. And we have discussed actually quite a lot of the materials for the hull, covering the hull, and they have helped me to find those materials in Finland because, well, many of those materials they are not widely available. Thank you so much for sponsoring my project, and go and check them out. Thank you. But about this video, so we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that, and if there is time I start cutting this because I have so much on the list right now that are a little bit postponed day by day, week by week, a little bit, and they kind of start to pile up now. So I just want to get over with those. Even the small things that I can do every day will bring the project forward. Okay, it's now next day, Sunday evening. I've been doing something here and I changed the plans slightly for the coming week. This early week is gonna be still quite cold, so I'm not gonna be able to use any glue just yet. But later next week, like a Friday or Saturday, it should be quite warm, so then I can start gluing this thing in. But now, today, I fired up the CNC again before I started to glue those, and I actually cut the molds for the front here. So now I actually have this mold cut ready, so that means I can start fitting the stem this week. That's great, that frees me up a little bit beyond the glue up thing. The gluing of the stem is not really a big job, there's just glue on there, here and there, and of course the two halves together. That shouldn't be that big of a job. There is some shaping to be done there, though that needs to be done first. And I actually just started to make the second recess of the ballast keel timber over there. So yeah, waiting for the weather to be able to glue those in, but I think that should be done later next week. Okay, it's Sunday afternoon. and it's time to do something here in the boat shed again. I don't remember what I told you last time I filmed earlier this week, but this CNC bed is now prepared for gluing these oak strips finally. And I got these plywoods all cut. They are now the temporary molds for the boat over there, those slots. They're all done, and that means that I can actually start putting in the stem, because I now have the temporary mold for the stem here as well. It's ready to go. I need to put it underneath the stem, and after that I can start putting the stem in. I started to do the final shaping for the stem yesterday evening, so it's coming along there. We need to glue that together. We might get into that in this video already, we'll see. But now today's agenda is to glue finally these ballast keel timbers together. So they are all sanded and ready, and the surface of the CNC bed here is ready. Yeah, I think I explained in previous video what I'm gonna do with this, but in very short recap, I'm gonna laminate the two timbers here with those clamps. Then after they are cured, I will machine them with the CNC. I will cut the top surface to a certain thickness. Then I will change the bit and cut the shape and the holes for the keel bolts into those. So they should be completely finished and ready to go when I take them off from here. And what we're gonna start with is to cover the surface, because I don't want that much epoxy in that surface. So I will put some plastic on there. Then we'll start putting these strips there, and I'm gonna wipe them down with alcohol, so get rid of any dust and any residues of contaminants or anything from there. Then we will start mixing epoxy. I think I'm gonna mix slightly thickened epoxy, just to make sure that there is epoxy remaining between the pieces when we clamp them in. And there's also these a little bit of old hole kind of things here. We need to fill those with some thickened epoxy as well. So let's start with the cover and go from there. All right, it's now next day. Yesterday evening I was here to put the first batch of things here. And yeah, there was a little bit of a problems with the clamping though. Yeah, I should have this kind of, I don't know what they're called in English, but those kind of rail clamps, things that you use when you're doing flat pieces like this. But yeah, I managed to clamp them in and put a lot of screws to push them down to the surface. And eventually I think they're quite good. So I hope they're curing nicely, because it is quite cold again. And yeah, it's still quite sticky. So the next thing I need to do for this, I need to sand the extra epoxy out from there and then glue the rest of the pieces on top of that, so I can get 2 layers of wood there, and then we start machining it. So yeah, those are now just waiting, and we'll see you in a couple of days. I hope to get the next layer in. All right, it has been quite a week again. So much work, so exhausted all the time, but on the other day I got the second layer of the oak glued on this side. Today I'm gonna glue it that side. It's now Saturday morning, hoping to get this video out tomorrow. Unfortunately though, I don't think we're gonna get into CNC machining these, but that's gonna be in next video. Of course, I need to get these out of here because I have some cutting to do with the CNC again next week. So happy to finally get this over with. Oh, it must be so long time. But because that has been postponed so much, I think I'm gonna do something even today to show you something new in this video. So I think we're gonna focus on getting these stem pieces fitted here in the bow. So this one still needs a little bit of shaping, and that one has been done mostly. So I need to get this out from here and shape that, and then we can kind of fit them here. We need some minor adjustment in here to fit them perfectly. And maybe we can even glue them together. We'll see about that. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, but now I start gluing that to get that done, to get it cured by tomorrow or by Monday. So we can continue with that. And yeah, and this is still waiting here. It has been actually quite chilly, even though the temperatures have risen quite a lot, but nights are still pretty cold. So I really haven't been able to glue those yet, and I just hadn't had energy to do that in that matter. So yeah, I'll just put some time lapse on and let's glue that first, and we'll see how that goes and continue from there. Oh, middle of the glue up. It's now over 10 degrees here in the tent, and yeah, too much fast hardener is I need to make smaller batches for this, and it's super hot. It's actually maybe second time that I make this mistake. There was some hassle in there, so this needed to just sit here in the tray. So, ouch, my fingers. I need to pour this somewhere else so it doesn't melt this plastic container. A little bit annoying. Oh, that was intensive session. I didn't really realize how warm it is actually now in here. And I really haven't used epoxy that much in warm environments. So yeah, a little bit of a learning there to do for me. Anyway, it's now done. It looks all right. There's plenty of screws to hold it on its place, and there's these strips of plywood to push it down a little bit, and then some lead inlets just to add some weight. It should be okay. There is plenty of squeeze out, and the epoxy I used contained a little bit of filler, so it's not just epoxy. There is a little bit of a filler in there, so it's not that liquid. Now we'll just let it cure for a day or two, and we'll see how that goes. This one is already cured. In next video, we're gonna machine these in those keel timbers with keel bolt holes and stuff. And I actually thought that I could maybe change the program so that I will do a bigger holes, then pour epoxy in those holes, and then make another hole. So drill, fill, drill method to prevent any danger of water going into those wood pieces. So that, yeah, that's kind of familiar technique if you have been following build techniques with the wood and epoxy. Now I want to turn my attention into this stem piece, finally. And about this, the fit is quite good. It's not perfect. You can maybe see there's over here just a small kind of gap there, so I need to trim this a little bit so that it sits perfectly on this frame. And then we need to trim these as mentioned. The other one has been trimmed already initially, because the edge here is what matters. And I really don't think that this is that important to be super accurate, because these slots are for the actual keel timber that will extend from here backwards. So if there is a little bit of a gap, that's all right. Of course, I would like to be as accurate as Tally-Ho or those, but yeah, this is not that channel. I'm afraid. To connect these two pieces together, there's these holes. The initial hole, if you remember, if you have been watching, the initial hole was done with the CNC, so in both pieces these holes should be perfectly in right spot. However, the drilling the hole through with just a drill bit, it didn't go completely straight. So I'm not trusting these 100%. But fortunately, this shape of this piece is so accurate that I'm not really depending on these anyway. I'm probably gonna put wooden dowels through here and glue them in their places to keep them together. But yeah, it's not necessary, I think. But let's now get this off from here, make the trimming, and then we'll see how they fit there. Alrighty, now the stem is dry fitted on its place. I trimmed a little bit over there from that edge, also from here a little bit from this frame. And now the temporary frame is on its place as well, over there, the middle. It's not perfect yet, but I think the stem is now as perfect as I can probably get it. There's a little bit of difference in the shape of those halves. Maybe the wood has moved a little bit because the first half has been ready for 2 years or something, and the next one over a year. So yeah, a little bit of difference, but I don't think that's really matters anything. As you can see, maybe over there, it fits quite well from this side. It should be on the same level as this frame here, so that's good. And over here, there is these notches that should fit with the CNC cut shape. The other half is slightly off right now. There is a couple of millimeters, maybe 3 to 5 millimeters of a difference. It moves a little bit. And then here you can see that it's a little bit off from there, but that's all right. And yeah, the holes, through holes are aligned pretty well. So there will be doubles and they will lock the halves in place. And now I have also this laser here, you can probably see it. That is straight, so it should be vertically in the right position. So the next thing now is to take these off, make some thickened epoxy, glue them together, put those dowels in, and then lift them on their places. Or maybe, not sure yet how I'm gonna do that. Also, I need to fix this at the same time. This is a little bit of a crack. It just tipped over once a long time ago. And yeah, some glue in there. It's all right. It's just here on the edge. And then, of course, put it on its place. I need to glue over there as well to this frame. And yeah, then it is on its place, and well, I hope it's good enough. Yeah, I really think that the tolerances are way better than it ever needs to be. And then afterwards, when we shape the final shape, we need to take these steps off. Kind of the bottom of these grooves is the final shape, so we need to take off all these steps here. So at that point we can probably make any fixes if we need to. I doubt that we need, and it's good enough. But yeah, let's now take some epoxy and glue that on its place, and I hope it goes well. First launch though. And just like that, the stem piece has been glued into the boat. That went actually quite smoothly. There's a little bit of a gap there that it's mostly filled, and yeah, it's not structural joint. The actual structure will extend as a keel timber from here, so it's not that big of a deal. But it looks quite good. There's now those doubles in there, some clamping in there, and I glued this little bit of a damage as well. So it's all good. It looks nice, and if we take a look at here, you can maybe see the laser line there as well. It looks straight. Tomorrow it should be solid as a rock, and after that we can start shaping it a little bit there to prepare the installation of the keel timber. Yeah, that's great. That has been a long-awaited thing here in the boat and on my to-do list. Well, now it's done. That's great. And it's now Sunday afternoon, and I want to have this video edited today, so I will end it right here. In the next video we will definitely machine those ballast keel timbers to their final shape with the CNC. Maybe install some of these temporary frames. We got all those cut. Then this pile is still not done. That is something I need to do. It will take one full work day to put those in, and I just need to do it some day next week, maybe next weekend. And after that, we are mostly ready to start preparing for the keel timber. Need to do those slots for them and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's now enough for this couple of weeks, and I hope to see you all in next video. And meanwhile, you can go and check the Patreon page. That's now the most important thing to keep these videos coming. Thank you so much for all the patrons. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. There is now the goal for getting 50,000 subscribers during this year. It has been quite slow, so please push the subscribe button and invite your mates to follow this journey with me. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye bye.